Ma.
Yes.
What's up, y'all? My name is Lauren.
And my name is Courtney.
And welcome to episode 2 of the Xpose podcast. What's up, Courtney?
What's up? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine.
I don't know if I'm convinced.
What
Are you
makes
sure
say
you're
that?
fine?
I mean, I feel like society's programmed us to say that we're fine when we're really not fine. So, I mean, I'm just going with the flow here.
Interesting.
Oh,
Okay.
but am I lying?
Yes.
You're like, quite literally, you are lying.
You are.
You know?
You're not fine.
Here's what I always tell people. I just say I'm alive. That's straight up. People are like, how are you? I'm alive.
Because you are.
Because I am. You know, and I'm
Woke
not.
up this morning.
Yeah. And I feel like as a child, I say as a child, last year.
I'm weak.
Wait. But last year, no, there was a pattern that I had, and it started as I was a child. And like I said, it was people just telling me, always respond that you're fine, right? Like, no matter if you are or aren't fine, like, it's a safe answer. And we get so stuck on these safe answers, especially when it deals with mental illness and mental health, because of the stigma that is surrounded around it. You know?
That's interesting. I was kind of taught the same thing, especially I want to say in the Black community. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it.
That's how it is.
We are taught to say that we're okay, and I think that's really historical as well, because we want to have this, tough exterior because we've always had to.
Yeah.
Since slave times, we've always had to have. I mean, we're still in slavery technically because
Let's be real.
Let's be real.
Right.
But we've always had to have this tough persona. It's okay to say that you're not okay.
It is.
It's okay to not be okay.
Ooh, say it again.
It's okay to not be okay.
It is. It's 100% okay to not be okay. And I would even challenge that. Like, I know that you and I can talk as African American Black females, right? But I would go as far as to say any person of color, it is highly stigmatized in the community, right? And I'm not afraid to say, as a Black female, I struggle with mental illness. I'm not afraid to say it.
And I'm not afraid to say that as a Black female, I struggle with mental illness.
Oh, doesn't it feel good to just say it?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, doesn't it feel good to just say it?
Just the weight, like.
Because it is, Lauren, it's that weight of, I'm struggling.
Yeah.
But people are like, oh, you are so strong. So when they see me in any, but emotions aren't weak. So let me not say any weakness, because emotions aren't weak. And I want to clear that up right now.
That's good.
But when they see me expressing my emotions, they're like, oh, wait a minute. This isn't like you. You're supposed to be strong. You're supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
We just saw you get this award and this qualification, but you're sad? You're ungrateful. You're ungrateful. How can you be sad when you have all this?
Society bases you off of what they see.
Exactly. So what do? I'm fine.
Yeah.
You're right. I shouldn't feel any of this. I'm fine.
Right. I always make it a point to check on my friends from time to time.
Right.
But it's not even just check on. I found out that it's more important to ask, how's your mental?
Yes.
Not just how are you? Because when you ask how's your mental, it opens up a whole nother world.
Yes.
Because people are used to being asked, how are you?
I'm fine.
How are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm good. It's that quick response.
Exactly.
But if I ask you, how's your mental? You can't say that. You can't say that. It makes you think.
It's an open-ended question.
How is my mental?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Because sometimes you don't even check on it yourself.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Ooh.
So if I ask you how's your mental, and it really, I had somebody ask me that, and that's really what made me do that.
Yeah.
Start doing that is because somebody asked me, how's your mental? I said, actually, it's not good.
Right. Oh my goodness.
I'm good,
Yeah.
but my mental ain't. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
It really, really made me stop and think. So I said, you know what? That really helped me in that time. And it really opened me to see my mental for what it really was. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start asking people, how is your mental? Because your mental, everything else flows from it.
It does.
Your physical,
Ooh.
your spiritual, everything flows from that.
Yes.
If your mental's not good, you are not fine. So if I ask you how's your mental and you say it's bad, and then I ask you how are you doing and you say I'm fine, I'm gonna say no, you're not.
No, you're not. Because it's affecting the rest of you. And where I think so many people get confused is they're like, well, I'm not crying all the time, so I'm not depressed. Or I'm not shaking all the time, so I'm not anxious.
Yeah.
Let me say this right now. Mental illness shows itself with so many different faces. So many different faces.
And we are pure examples of that.
Pure examples. Because you can be a functioning person with anxiety.
Yeah. But
won't you do it? A functioning person with depression. A functioning person with bipolar disorder. Ooh.
Yeah.
Did I just say another one that people don't usually hear about?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let's talk about borderline personality disorder. Schizophrenia. Addiction. Let's talk about addiction, because that is a mental illness that people don't think is a sickness.
And that's one of the biggest.
Ooh.
That's big.
It's huge.
I think that goes under depression and anxiety because people are addicted to things they don't even know they're addicted to. Social media.
What am I doing at night? What do I not realize I'm doing at night?
What keeps me up at night?
What do I keep doing at night?
What makes me compare myself to others?
Ooh. That leads into that depression and that leads into that anxiety. It is a cycle. Won't you do it? Oh my goodness. But so many people don't talk about it, Lauren.
I want to touch on that part of anxiety and depression and mental illness as a whole, looking and coming in different forms. Because when I say we're a pure example of that, we both have depression, anxiety, both been through that.
Yeah.
We both still struggle with anxiety. Mine looks different than yours, and yours looks different than mine.
Yes.
But they're both strong.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
No,
like the
completely.
weakness, there's not no weak part of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
when
you
I
can't compare your trials to my trials. I can compare your,
Before I started really, really struggling with anxiety, I used to, I'm not going to say talk about people with anxiety, but I used to feel that anxiety was a choice. I used to think that it was a choice because it was, I wasn't in it. I was on the outside looking in. So I saw people with anxiety and I'm like, how could you, you know what I'm saying, let something like that take over you? Right. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's real.
You have control over that.
You think that. You
now,
sure do.
Let me clarify. There is an aspect of it.
Okay.
You, in everything, you choose the reaction that you have to it. So if you choose to stay in your anxiety and not get help after you've been exposed to it, then that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people don't even know that they have anxiety. That was me. I didn't even know I had anxiety.
You don't know, right?
Because I didn't know what it was called, you know? And so as time went on, it was like, different things start happening to you in life and it makes it stronger and stronger. And so one day you just break and you're like, this is anxiety. Yeah, this is what it is. Yes. And it's a name for it. So a lot of people think that just depression, like you said, is just staying in bed and being sad all the time. No. A lot of people think anxiety is just, you're like you said, shaking all the time. No. And I learned that in the worst way. My anxiety came from health anxiety. It came in the form of health anxiety. I thought I was dying all the time. I thought every little ache and pain in my body was killing me. Like, and that came from different traumas, different people in my life that had passed away, in my family that passed away. And I'm thinking in my head, oh my God, if they passed away from cancer, then I'm going to die from cancer. You know what I'm saying?
So real. I'm glad you're speaking on that, because so many people, they don't realize that is anxiety.
No, it is.
Like, if your mind is constantly hooked on something and you're ruminating, that's the word. If you're ruminating on something so much, that is anxiety, right? And there's some things you said that I really want to hit on. First of all, you said your anxiety is not like my anxiety. In the same way, my healing process is not your healing process. So what works for me may not work for you.
Exactly.
And then that goes along with how you said there is a little bit of choice in it, right? Here's what I always say. Your emotions are valid. Is your response justified?
There you go. Yep.
Because don't get me wrong, there's some days where the depression is really heavy for me and I'm like, I need to lay in bed.
Yes.
Like, I do.
And that's okay.
That's okay. That is okay. Let me say that is okay.
That's okay.
But if it becomes this pattern of, I'm just going to let it engulf me, which can be so easy because your mind lies to you, Lauren. Your mind lies to you every day. So you have to really train yourself and look depression, anxiety, mental illness in the face and say, you're not going to get me.
I'm going to conquer you today.
I'm going to conquer you today. You don't own me. Oh my goodness. I own my mind. My mind does not own me. Won't you do it?
And that goes, there's a spiritual aspect that goes to this because you heard that saying, the mind is the devil's playground.
Yes.
And I don't know what everyone's walk of life is as far as religion goes.
Exactly.
But mine is Christianity. I believe in the Lord.
Yes.
And so in that, I believe that every time that I would have an anxiety attack or a panic attack, I would have to literally battle the enemy within myself.
Yes.
And it became so real to me. That's why psychedelics are kind of weird to me because you get exposed to things that you're not ready for as humans. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think that battle that I literally was having within my head every time I had a panic attack was so powerful because I had to realize I'm not fighting against flesh and blood. I'm fighting against the enemy.
Yes, you are. No, you are.
I'm fighting against the enemy who is playing in my head. No. He wants me to think I'm dying. He wants me to think that I'm not going to live past my 20s. He wants me to think that I don't have any purpose. So let me just go ahead and live my life how I want to live my life or whatever, because I'm going to die. You know what I'm saying? He wants me to live like that.
It's all lies.
It's all lies.
And manipulation.
All lies.
It's all in the mind. That's what I'm saying. Your mind is so powerful beyond belief.
Yeah.
But in the same way, I repeat, you have authority over your mind.
That part.
So,
that part.
Thank you, Jesus.
That
because
part.
you have authority over your mind. Don't make me start praising it.
Okay. Listen.
Because let me just strip it down. I wasn't going to get this vulnerable, but I'm going to get this vulnerable. Let's just strip it all down.
We are here to what?
Expose.
Thank you.
Won't you do it?
Let's
all
expose.
Right.
Let's go, sis.
So I'm just going to tell people, I struggle with a lot of mental illness.
Yeah.
I struggle with anxiety, depression, PTSD, so much that is on me. But if you ask a lot of people, they would never guess it.
Right.
They would never guess it.
Right.
Because where am I having these breakdowns? Alone.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Whenever you feel like you're so lonely and you can't talk to anyone, that's why you have to have that support system. When I started talking about it, talk therapy is huge for me. I love my therapist. I support therapy.
Yes.
I'm going to be real.
Shout out therapists. Shout out to the therapists out there.
Yes.
Shout out to my therapist.
People of color need therapy too. And it's sad that we don't have the resources for everyone to get therapy. Let's be real. Let's be real with it. We just don't have the resources for everybody to get it. And I'm not going to pretend like it's this easy thing to get into.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not. You know? But along with that, wait a minute.
You got some? Come on now.
Because when people don't have trained professionals to talk to, they start leaning on people that aren't trained to deal with their situations. So they start projecting all this stuff on other people, therefore not realizing, hey, they don't have the tools to help me.
Yeah.
So it could be affecting them too.
Yeah.
And I'm truly not getting the help I need.
Nope.
So it becomes this cycle of, I'm going to tell my friend all my problems, which is, if you have a trusted friend, it's okay to talk to them about this stuff.
Right.
But remember, they are not a trained professional.
And they won't understand.
They won't understand. They won't always understand. Family won't always understand. Teachers won't always understand. You know? So therefore, we shouldn't expect them to understand. Because I've been that therapy friend for a long time.
Me too.
You know, because I love to help.
Me too.
I love to help people. Because I'm like, I've been through something.
Yeah.
So let me help other people because I don't want them to deal with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when they come to me, I find myself getting drained.
Yes.
Drained.
That's that word.
Oh my goodness.
Exhausted.
But then I feel guilty when I'm like, I can't help them. So what's the solution?
I think it's important to know that we are not meant to carry other people's burdens.
Say it again.
We're not meant to carry other people's burdens.
One more time, please.
We are not meant to carry other people's burdens.
Yes, ma'am.
And we should not expect to take on those burdens, and the other person should not expect that I'm going to take it on. You are simply coming to me. For instance, let's use me and you.
Yes.
Okay. I cannot take on your problems as my problems. think that's why a lot of people do get exhausted.
Yes.
I know, because I tend to do that myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even realizing it. But I'm such an empath. Like, I'm such a person that just, I want to get into the ring with you and fight.
Exactly.
Because I see where you're at, and I either have been there or I know somebody that's been there. I see the hurt that you're going through, and especially friends. We don't want to see them hurt. I don't want to see none of my friends hurt.
Never.
So when I'm ready, you know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody hurts you,
It's that right.
I'm fighting.
What? I got my right, you got your left.
Taking my earrings off, okay? I'm ready to go. So we gotta get to the point where we are coming to people, you know, and people are coming to us with the understanding of, I am here for you to vent.
Yes.
Okay. Venting is different than wanting help. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Exactly.
I agree.
So I think that once that understanding is there, then it's a more understood relationship, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But with your therapist, you're going to get help. Okay. So that's why it's so important to have a therapist. If you know that you're going through these things, like I said, sometimes people don't realize.
They don't.
And they're going to their friends, telling them everything that's going on. And your friend may not have the eyes to realize you're going through anxiety. You have depression. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's why I think it's important for everybody to just get a therapist.
I mean, here's my thing. Because clearly everyone has their own story. Everyone has their own battles.
Exactly.
Even if you don't think you're going through something, still talk to someone. What's the harm?
There's none. At least you have an outlet to pour out. And honestly, I'm going to be real. I used to be the person that kept everything in. I didn't want to tell anybody.
That bottle up method. That bottle up method.
Yeah, that bottle up. You know what I'm saying? And just like this bottle, for real, like we had to pop the top off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I would get. And I would explode on people.
Yes.
No, it didn't have a name.
No.
It was anybody.
Oh my, no, it's so true.
Yeah. I would explode on anybody. And I'd be like, whoa. I didn't know I was holding all that in.
You really don't.
No. So I had to literally practice sharing myself with people. And it was a trust factor too.
Yeah. Most
but
definitely.
I had to practice getting myself comfortable with telling my problems. Yeah. Now you can't shut me up.
And that's okay.
Yeah. Because I realize, and once you get to that realization that telling my problems frees me, who doesn't want to be free?
Oh, you do.
Who doesn't want to be free?
Because communication is the key to healing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Who doesn't want to be free? Who doesn't want to have them shackles off of them? You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be a slave to your mind.
I think a lot of people realize that they want to be free, right?
Yeah.
But it goes back to your mind is constantly beating you, beating you, and telling you there's no hope.
All the time.
You're not going to be successful.
All the time.
And just think about like a human. If they're just constantly harshing on you, eventually you're going to start believing it.
Yep.
You're going to be like, wow, if they continually tell me this, it must be true. It must be. So my mind's just, oh, Courtney, you're nothing. And I'm like, well, guess I'm nothing.
Must be nothing.
I want to be free, but my mind said I won't be free, so I'm not going to be free.
And guess what? That's why daily affirmations are so important.
Lauren, talk about your coping mechanisms. Let's get into that.
So, prayer. Prayer is the first thing, honestly, that got me through. I still struggle with it, but that's one of the things that allow me to get to a point where I'm able to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Prayer, like I said, really realizing who I'm really fighting against here, you know? Yeah. Once I got to that point in my head and really started believing it, because for a while, because I would call my dad and be like, Dad, and he'd be like, Lauren, you are not fighting against yourself. And I'm like, okay, but I didn't believe it.
You don't.
It got so bad to the point where I want to make sure we explain this. Anxiety is something that causes you to be stuck on something so much so to where it becomes crippling. It becomes crippling, and you can't do anything in life, and you can't, because my birthday, for instance, I had an anxiety attack on my birthday. I had to cancel my whole birthday. My birthday was terrible, and I love birthdays. Birthdays are my thing. So it was like, wow, that was when I really realized that it was crippling. You know what I'm saying? So I came to the point where I was like, we got to do something about this. Prayer. Okay. Daily affirmations have become something that have been really big for me. They always have been. But even more so in my anxiety.
Yeah.
So there's this app called I Am.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
And I don't even know how I discovered it, honestly. Like, I think I was on Facebook or something like that, and it was like an ad that popped up. And I said, okay, I'm gonna try this out. So I downloaded it. And you can set up how many, affirmations you want throughout the day. And so I get them on my phone, and I'm like, ooh, sometimes they are on point. All the time.
No,
actually.
I always need them.
They're on point.
Yeah, you put me on. You put me on to that app.
They are on point.
Yeah.
So it's like, that is one of the things, and even just to myself, what I did for myself was because, sometimes in anxiety, you get to the point where you feel like your future is in danger. You feel like there's no hope for your future.
Yes.
And that's how I started feeling. I started feeling like, you know what, Lauren, you're trying to do too much. You just, you need to slow down and stop everything and just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. But you got to make sure you take care of your mental
Most
before
definitely.
you move forward.
Most definitely.
So what I did was I started making a goal wall. And I wrote down all the things that I wanted to do this year within myself.
Yeah.
Big and small. And I put them on sticky notes, and I put them on my wall in my bedroom so that when I wake up in the morning, that's the first thing I see.
That's powerful. It's powerful.
Not saying that that's something that, if I don't stick to it, you got to allow yourself
some
mistakes.
room, right?
You got to allow yourself to make mistakes. You got to allow yourself to groove,
right. Have grace with
little
yourself.
Exactly.
Yes.
So if one of those doesn't get accomplished this year, it's okay.
It is.
It's okay.
It is.
So those are a couple things that I have really, 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 obviously, and prayer is the biggest one,
Yes.
but that have really, really helped me in speaking positive to myself, because that's really a lot of what anxiety is negative thoughts.
That's
So,
very true.
What about you,
girl? I feel like I've tried every coping. No, because let's be real. Like I said, what works for other people doesn't always work for me, right?
Exactly.
So there was people that would suggest things to me, and I would try it. I'd be like, oh, that's not for me. But what I learned from me, like you said, prayer was, oh my goodness, a huge thing. And this is going to sound real crazy, but I would always have my best prayer sessions and like talking to God in the shower. Yeah, I know that's weird.
You too? Stop.
When I tell you, I'd be in that shower crying and being like, God,
Me too.
I know this is not what you have for me.
Me too. I'm not lying to you.
Because your mind's clear in the shower. Nobody expects anything of you in the shower. You can just sit and be. Oh my goodness. I would always talk to God in the shower. I still do.
Me too.
I talk to him in my car. Talk to him in my bed. But those
my
shower
best worship sessions are in my car.
What? Say it again.
Say it now.
But the biggest thing for me outside of prayer is journaling. It's something that I still do, and I actually have some journals with me.
Okay,
I'm gonna show you.
Oh, she brought show and tell.
Show and tell. But no, the reason that I brought these is because I want to show the progress and the transformation. Because this first entry I have is from the first month that I was really going through it. I'm not gonna read it all, but I want y'all to hear like the pleading I was doing, how lost I felt. Like, just reading the first sentence, I am really tired of feeling like this. Every day feels harder and harder. I want the negative thoughts to stop. I feel really lost and alone, and I'm so scared that I will be stuck like this. This is one of the hardest things that I have been through, and I don't know why bad things keep happening to me. I'm scared to go back to school. I'm afraid that I will lose this battle. God, where are you? Oh my goodness. I need you. I miss who I was before this. What are you trying to teach me through this? And this line, this shows you where my mindset was. This line right here. I'm sorry for being a sinner and causing this. I just want it to be over. That's where my mindset was. I thought the things that I was doing in my life, being a sinner, I thought God was punishing me, Lord.
Wow.
When I tell you, nobody, like, people would look at me, they didn't understand what was going through my mind. I thought God was punishing me. I was like, oh my goodness. So then I started having thoughts in my mind. Intrusive thoughts are a big thing for any mental illness. For those that don't know, intrusive thoughts are like random thoughts that pop into your mind that are like, they could be really, really bad, right?
Yes.
And I want to take a little sidetrack and say that your thoughts aren't your thinking.
No. So
let me just, your thoughts are not your thinking. Let me put that out there. So I would have these thoughts, and it would be like, God's not real. God doesn't love you. And it was just feeding. That's why I'm telling you, like, I was under attack. But you know what I did? I journaled.
I journaled.
What I do? Faith over fear.
Period.
If you gladly chose surrender, so will I. Because you weren't about to get me. No.
Not today, Satan.
Oh my goodness, say it again.
Not today, Satan.
Not today, Satan. Because you just have to keep reminding yourself, like you said, it's that affirmations and speaking into yourself. But clearly it's not always like that.
No.
I mean, what? When I tell y'all I'll be in my journals, I'll be in my journals.
Listen.
Like, there was one more entry, and this was more recently. Oh my goodness. And I would just keep journaling, and something that I really did was repetition. So I don't know if y'all can see this, but it was just your feelings are fluid. Your feelings are fluid. Like, just continually reminding yourself, you're not going to be stuck like this.
Right.
And then there's other stuff in these journals where I'm back in that dark place again.
Yeah.
But look at me now.
Like this.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not linear. Healing is not linear.
Yeah.
But look at us. We're doing a podcast. We're alive. Growing. Despite having mental illness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And one thing that really I look back at on my life, the last year was just a really rough year for me. And I say that because I look back on the year and I feel like I had no progress.
Right.
No progress in anything in my life. I had big plans, big plans for 2020. And now, okay, we had a pandemic.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't use it as an excuse because in my personal life, in my personal mental growth, I was not doing what I needed to do to get my mental in order.
Yeah.
Okay. The first half of the year. Okay. I knew that I probably was, dealing with some anxiety.
Right.
But I was like, okay, let me just party it away.
Yeah.
Let me just drink it away.
And that's how people do it.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that's going to fix it. It'll be fine.
Right.
What did I find? Come home 3 a.m. in the morning after having a drunk night.
Yeah. Because it was numbing it.
It was numbing
it. wasn't taking it away. It was numbing it.
It's still there.
And people just, they confuse numbing with solving.
Yeah. I thought all that was healing. I thought that was my therapist. I thought it was my therapist.
Oh my goodness.
Come to find out, wasn't my therapist. Because my therapist now, she's amazing.
Yes.
Okay. So it's like the other half of the year was when it really, all that, going to the parties and drinking and all that, it caught up with me in the later half of the year. It caught up with me so much so to the point where it started affecting my physical health. Literally. And that's why when I say your mental controls everything else, people don't understand how your mental really controls your physical. I never had heart problems in my life. Never had heart palpitations in my life. Went to the ER for heart palpitations. Okay? I was sick so many times last year.
Oh my goodness.
I've never been sick that many times before. Just different sicknesses.
Right.
Random strep throat. Who gets... I don't drink after people. Who gets strep throat?
Right. No,
you know what I'm
real.
saying?
It all is connected, Lauren.
I got COVID.
Yeah.
Who? Back to back. And I really sat down at the end of the year and I was like, Lauren, we got to get it together.
Yeah.
Because we can't keep doing this. You're going to kill yourself. Them thoughts that you're having in your head about death, they will come true if you don't get yourself together. And they really will be your fault this time. Because you didn't deal with what you know you need to deal with. I believe that once you become exposed to your mental illness, it is your job to take care of it. Yeah. It's okay if it's not immediate. It's okay. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight.
It doesn't.
At all.
Lord knows I wanted to.
I wish.
You saw my journal.
Okay.
No, I wanted to, but that just gave me this idea. I feel like we got to keep ripping off the band-aids of stigmatization, right? So I think we should just go through some of the symptoms that we experience. Okay. Because a lot of people don't realize, hey, that symptom could be mental illness. Yeah. And let's say this too. Maybe it's not. Right. Maybe it's not. Don't go Googling it.
Right. Don't do that.
Please. What I do, Googling, I was like, I got all of this stuff. I got all of it. And I didn't.
Google will tell you have cancer and you don't.
Exactly. But for me, because like I said at the beginning, I have anxiety, depression, PTSD, and those are like the main ones. And that all comes out for me in a lot of different ways. Like I said, the intrusive thoughts will start coming heavy. That's usually my first indicator, like, Courtney, you need to step back from something. Because it will just be these hard, intrusive thoughts. Like you said, thinking about, oh, my family's going to pass away. Oh, you're never going to be anything. This relationship's not good for you. When it's actually fine. You know? Like, it's fine.
You're good.
But that's, your mind lies to you.
Playing tricks.
And then I have another thing. It's called conversion disorder. And this actually happened after I had a really bad panic attack when I first started going through this in 2019, I believe. And I had a really bad panic attack, but I thought I was having a seizure. I had to go to the hospital twice because I was shaking so bad I couldn't stop. It was full body shaking. Right? I mean, you've seen me when I'm like, but I can't control it because it's so much emotion in my body. Yeah, my body's trying to process it, so I shake really badly, right? And people wouldn't think that that's anxiety. I thought I was dying. That's how powerful your mind is. If it can make you shake like you are seizing, it made my tongue grow really thick. Yes. People don't understand. Like, there's so many headaches. Stomach aches. Not wanting to eat.
Loss of appetite.
Loss of appetite. Loss of motivation.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
You see, people don't... It's just everywhere. Like, really anything could be a symptom. Sometimes I'll start scratching myself and not realize it. You know? And then I'm like, Courtney, what are you anxious about? You know? Like, so that's where you have to start...
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And things, I could be talking to a friend and it just... All of a sudden, there's no timer for it.
No.
That's what's so scary is I could be out having a good time. Depression. Hello. Courtney. Courtney, you're supposed to be depressed right now.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So there's so many symptoms that I go through, but most of it is that loss of motivation, that shaky, and those thoughts. And it's just so crazy. Like, this is what I didn't even realize I did. But I did some occupational therapy to, like, try to relieve some of the emotional stress. It was great. Recommend it. But she was like, Courtney, do you realize you hold your breath a lot? I was like, what? She was like, you're holding your breath. And she asked me, she was like, do you hold your breath a lot when you're driving? Didn't even realize I did that. I was like, oh my goodness. I hold my breath when I'm driving all the time.
Wow. And
she was like, whenever there was like a certain way I got up, she was like, that's anxiety. When my eyes are shut, they flutter a lot. That's anxiety.
Wow.
It's just, it can manifest in so many different ways, you know? I just gotta thank the Lord real quick. Because
wow.
That's what I'm saying. But people would never see this in me because they see mental illness as a weakness. But look at me, thriving, surviving. And I'm not saying this as a brag. I'm saying this because I am fighting, because I know who I'm fighting for. And I know that there's a plan for me.
Exactly. But you know what? I think about some of the most influential people. I think about people in my life that I know.
Yes.
That I look and I'm like, you're so strong.
Yes.
They're not. They are, but they're not.
Because you have to think of how we're defining strong.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's literally like you know what I'm saying? Like people look at you like, wow, you're so strong. And really, I have my weak moments, you know, and that's okay to have weak moments because we can't be strong all the time. You know what I'm saying? I think about Beyonce. I'm sure she struggles has strugglgled with mental illness. Yes. But how can you not when you have the whole world on your shoulders, you know?
Because it's a stigma.
It's a stigma.
It's a stigma. People don't want to believe that it's there, but so many people, and somebody asked me this question the other day. They were like, do you believe that mental illness, like with it becoming so more like prominent, the education about it becoming prominent, do you think that people are starting to like pretend they have it more? And I'm like, because I responded initially, but then I had to sit back and I feel like I have a different response. And you've said this before, and I've even thought it before. I think it's just giving people a name to what they have. Yeah. I don't think people are suddenly, oh, now I have depression because I learned. No, they're attaching a name to what they have.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it's so crazy. We don't talk about it. And let's talk about, because we're, like we said, we are Black women.
I want to say something really quick.
Okay, go ahead.
You said they're attaching a name to it.
Yes.
Your name is not your illness.
Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. Say that again.
Your name is not your illness.
Oh my goodness. You're not anxiety.
You're not anxiety.
You struggle with anxiety.
Exactly.
You're not depression. You struggle with depression.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
That just came to me. I was like, a lot of people define themselves by, and that's one thing that my dad continuously spoke to me, especially when I was really, 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 really going through it. He said, Lauren, this is not who you are.
It's not.
This is not who you are.
That's not you.
And he would give me, you are this, you are that, you are. That's why
The
affirmations are so important.
Yes.
Because that consistently tells you, I'm a daughter of the King.
Oh my
you know what I'm
goodness.
saying? I am strong.
Right.
I'm courageous.
I'm
you
a
know
good
what I'm saying?
friend. I'm a good sister.
friend.
Yes.
I'm caring. I'm compassionate.
Yes.
I'm loving. You know, I'm beautiful.
Right.
Especially
Despite
for
my-
women.
Yes.
That's big for us. We have to consistently tell ourselves we're beautiful. Because there's days where I'm like,
Yes.
you know.
Ooh, but let me challenge that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Because you said especially for women. There are a lot of people, especially men, that don't talk about mental illness. Especially our black men.
Whoo, you hit it.
They don't talk about mental illness.
You hit it.
It's not masculine.
Bro, you struggling with anxiety?
Bro, no, man, I'm cool. What you mean? Like that's how weak stuff. I don't do.
I promise you, on everything that I love, if God gives me a son, he will know that it is okay to cry.
It's okay.
It's okay to come to me and talk to me about everything.
Yes.
It is okay to cry in front of your friends. You are not soft.
No.
You are not weak.
Ooh.
Okay? I will make sure he knows that.
And that's that.
Because
Showing emotion is strong. Showing emotion is strong. It's not a weakness.
It's not.
It takes more strength to be vulnerable than it does to sit back. Oh my goodness, it's a message. I'm going to church on y'all. I'm sorry, but like when I tell y'all that God has brought me through it and he's continuing to bring me through it, because there's some days, like yesterday was a hard mental health day for me.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't just go away.
No.
You learn how to manage it.
Exactly.
You learn the coping skills,
Exactly.
you know? Like, oh my goodness. But like you said, I think it's important that we teach our men, not even just black men, you know, I'm just speaking because that is a very stigmatized community.
Exactly.
But it is important to teach our men, our young boys, it is okay to cry. It is okay to say, hey mom, hey friend, hey teacher, I'm not okay.
Yeah.
I need to go talk to the school counselor.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Because it's okay not to be okay.
Exactly. Say it again. It's
okay not to be okay. Oh my goodness. Won't he do it, Lauren? Won't he do it?
I'm quiet because I just feel like this is going to touch a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, like you said, they don't voice that they struggle with mental illness.
Yeah.
They don't want to voice it because they think that they're going to be seen as weak.
And you're not.
And you're not.
You're not.
You're not.
Oh my goodness.
Please get a therapist. Even if you don't feel as though you struggle with mental illness, because you might.
Right.
And you just don't know it.
Exactly.
It's so important to get a therapist and just be able to have somebody to go to and talk to and just vomit.
Oh my god, word vomit. It's
just
just
word vomit. You know?
Yes.
I feel like I do that just in general, but I talk a lot, hence the podcast. But to just word vomit and just get mental vomit. Okay?
Oh my goodness.
Get that out because you never know what you might have been holding in. This past session I had with my therapist, she looked at me and she was like, you needed to get that out, didn't you?
Yeah.
And it was something that I didn't know. After I got through talking about it, I stared at her and I said, wow. That's all I could say.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that I still had that type of animosity that I had in my heart.
Yes.
I didn't know. I thought I dealt with it.
Huh. You thought you were healed.
I thought it was healed.
But it was there.
She said, I'm glad you said what you said. I was like, I'm sorry. Like, she's
Oh,
like,
don't
girl,
apologize.
she's like, girl, are you? I was like, because I talk a lot. I didn't know what I was just,
you were just
word vomiting.
Yes.
And I was like, this and this and she looked at me, she said,
you needed that.
You needed that.
You needed that.
You need that.
Oh my goodness. Because there are other coping mechanisms. Like we spoke on our journaling, praying. There's listening to music. There's napping.
Ooh.
Taking a good nap. But let me clarify. There is a distinction between distraction and coping.
Yeah, definitely.
What's your intention
with
that nap?
Exactly.
I don't want to deal with my problems. I'm going to sleep.
No.
I've been there.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I said, I'm never going to be a hypocrite here.
Right.
I've been there.
Right.
I probably did it last week. But if your intention is, Courtney, you need to take this nap.
Yeah.
So you can reprogram and come back with more motivation, more energy.
Yeah.
What is your intention with your coping mechanisms?
Yeah.
Because if you distract, like I said in our last video, I distracted myself so heavily, it was pushing back. I said, I'm healed. Then when I had to stop, it said, whoosh.
Exactly.
It was that bottle popping off.
Like me popping the bottles. It was a
A
distraction.
distraction.
I thought I was healing it.
Exactly.
Whoever said alcohol was a healer, first
Alcohol
of
is a
all.
depressant as we sit here and drink it. Lord have mercy.
It's okay, it's wine.
Right.
Okay.
It's you know, it's okay.
5%.
Right. In small amounts,
It's okay.
drinking is okay.
But just dousing myself in
Yeah,
alcohol, I'm not going to say I was an alcoholic.
You know, it's like, don't put yourself
I'm
on
not
that,
going to say I was
'cause
an
you are on
alcoholic,
that.
but I drank more than I should have.
Mm-hmm.
And it was definitely a coping mechanism because I was just getting out of divorce.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had so much on my plate that I did not want to deal
Yes.
with.
Oh my goodness. Lauren, so with that drinking, I think we should start talking about addiction. Because that's a mental illness that so many people get shamed for. Oh my goodness. Let me just put it out there. Like I said, I'm real. I'm vulnerable. Both of my biological parents were drug addicts.
Mm-hmm.
So immediately,
Mm-hmm.
I had that predisposed in me.
Mm-hmm.
I had those addictive genes.
Yes.
And I'm not going to get too into it. There have been addictions of my own that I've
Yeah.
struggled with.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we all have those addictions.
Every one of us.
But so many people look at addicts and they say, oh, you're throwing your life away on purpose.
Mm-mm.
You're doing this. You're choosing this.
Mm-mm.
It is a sickness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's so many people that want to stop. Because think about it. They go to rehab. They want to stop.
Exactly.
But that sickness, once they get back out, leads them right back to it.
Exactly.
So we got to learn how to deal with addiction the same way you would treat someone with depression.
Yeah.
Because they're no different.
Right.
It is a mental illness form. It is.
Wow.
Because I remember, I'm just telling y'all my story at this point. But no, I'm going to be real. My mental illness got so bad to a point where I had to be checked inpatient. Because I was having really harmful thoughts about myself and others.
Yeah.
So I went inpatient. And there were so many people that were struggling with addiction. I had to be careful to say they're not addicts. They are people that are struggling with addiction. And at first I was like, why are y'all in here? Because I didn't realize, I was like, this isn't a mental illness. You just over here, like I said, you're choosing this for yourself.
Yeah.
But when we started talking, oh my goodness, the power of communication. When you talk to someone and learn their story, allow them to tell you their story without judgment. And this is going to, yes. But this is going to sound crazy. I'm just going to say it though. I felt more heard there than I did outside of that hospital.
That's not crazy.
Because I was surrounded by people that weren't afraid to say they were struggling.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Because I was surrounded by schizophrenics. There was somebody talking about resurrecting the devil. I said, I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. What we're not going to do.
What we're not going to do is that.
But just being able to openly communicate and know, hey, you're not afraid that you're struggling too. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
It's crazy. And there's so many people, if you would have saw them on the street, you never would have guessed they were going
Never
through that.
would have get.
There was college students in there. There was older ladies in there.
That's why it's so important to always get to know people for who they are. And that goes back to episode 1 where we're talking about loving people for where they're at.
Yes, don't try to change them.
No.
Help them through it.
Exactly, because you never know what
Never know.
someone is going through. You never know.
Never know.
And that's why, to me, you can look at somebody who looks like I said, Beyonce.
Yes.
You look at her and be like, yes, Queen Bee.
Yes.
And you would never think. You know what I'm saying? You look at somebody on the street and be like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody out, you know? Maybe a cashier at the grocery store.
Yes.
Somebody super bubbly and cheery. And sometimes them people that are like that are the main ones struggling with depression because they're trying to hide it.
They're trying to hide it.
You know? So I'm always cognizant of you know, making sure I ask people, how are you, you know, how are you doing? How's your mental? You know, people out and about, you know, I can't really ask them how's their mental.
Right.
I don't know you like that.
Right.
But you can kind of tell
You
and
can.
use discernment. You know what I'm saying?
As humans, we always communicate.
Yes.
No, even if you're not verbally communicating, you're always communicating.
Because, you know, my face talks.
What? Girl, my face is loud. You see it now? But it's true. Like, so that's why, like I said, you can't always ask for people to understand or expect them to understand.
Right.
But also, if you see something in someone, say something.
Right.
That is your duty.
Right.
You can even smile at them.
Guess what?
What?
Silence is deadly.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, because it is.
Silence is deadly.
It is.
Saying nothing at all is a response.
Yes.
It says you don't care.
Yeah, because you're saying, I see that you're struggling, but I don't want to do anything about it because it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with it.
What they say, what should I say? Oh, I'm quoting y'all. Lean into discomfort. Office of Diversity and Inclusion, shout it out. Lean into discomfort. Mm-hmm. You never know whose life you could save by smiling.
Right.
Saying hello, saying, I love those shoes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. One action can save someone's life. Mm-hmm. And along with that, like Lauren said, random check-ins. Check on your friends. Check on your family.
Yeah. Make sure they're cool.
Make sure that it's so simple.
It really is.
Are you okay? But like you said, let's try to remove those those closed questions. Let's do some open-ended ones. Like, how is your mental?
I want to trap you in a corner. I hate to say it like that, but I want to trap you in a corner. And let me explain myself when I say that. I want to trap you in a corner so that you can give me the raw answer. Yes. Because if you're giving me fake answers, what's the point of me checking on you? Yeah. I'm checking on you so that I can talk to you. Yeah. So that I can have those real conversations.
You're not trying to fix them. Let's clear, because we're not trying to fix. We're trying to help
just want to
guide.
Talk to you.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's it.
I'm just how's your mental? That's, in my opinion, that's putting you in an uncomfortable position to tell me how your mental is. Yeah. And it may be good that day.
It may be.
It may be good. And if that's the case, tell me the truth.
Exactly.
And say it's good. Yeah. But if it's not good, tell me the truth as well. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to give you the best advice that I can that day. And say, you need to go see a therapist. Yeah. Get you a therapist.
No, because that's true. Like, that's one of the best things that you can do is get a therapist. Yeah. Some other things that have helped me outside of like coping mechanisms is I wrote myself a safety plan. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Courtney, if you feel like you're in danger of yourself or in danger of other people or just struggling, and I wrote out what I would do. So I'd say, call a friend, read a book, turn on a comedy show because laughter is medicine.
Okay.
You know, so just having that safety plan, I think I have it in one of my journals, but every time I would pass it, I would sign it. There's like 7 signatures on it. Yeah. Because every time I pass it, I'd be like, yes, you're committing to this, to being safe. There are so many different resources and ways to get through mental illness. Like, it's never going to be perfect and just go away. Right. Let me look at the camera and say this. It does get better. Oh, my goodness.
It does.
Because Courtney a couple years ago needs to hear that. Because Courtney last month needs to hear that.
Because Lauren last week,
oh my goodness,
needs to hear that.
It does get better.
Because sometimes you find yourself in this position where you just feel stuck. Like you said,
like
you feel stuck. Like like literally you're not going nowhere. Yeah, like you just stuck in this box, trying to figure out where to go. Yes. Find an escape route because you're trying to get out and you feel like you can't. Yeah. It's going to be okay.
It is. Because we get so focused on, oh, this day I took 2 steps forward, but this day I took 2 steps back. I'm not perfect. But think about that progress you made.
Small wins.
Ooh, celebrating over perfection.
Listen, progress over celebrating the small wins. Yes. That's something that I have really been trying in my life because I'm a perfectionist. So I try my best now to look, because I will write out my whole day. Yeah. I'm a planner. Yep, no, I'm a planner. Yeah. I need to do this today. I need to do this, this, and this. If I don't get it done, I feel like I failed myself. Yes. And I had to start getting to the point where I'm like, Lauren, but look at all the stuff you did do. Even if it's small. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like yesterday or a couple days ago, I had written down all the stuff that I need to do myself for myself. And I did not do half the stuff on the list. Okay. But I was like, but you did get your room revamped. Yes, ma'am. You did create a sanctuary for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You did exercise that day. You did, you know what I'm saying? Small wins. Small wins.
I even think it's smaller than that too, Lauren. Yeah. Like, because back to my journal, I would write out daily accomplishments. That's what it was labeled, daily accomplishments. It was stuff as small as, Courtney, you got out of bed.
Thank you.
Because that's not even small. Think about people that are not getting out of bed.
There's people that's paralyzed that can't get out of bed.
You got out of bed. You brushed your teeth. You took a shower. Depression will tell you don't need to shower. Oh, yeah. Lay in bed. Courtney, you drank water today. Even if it was just 1 cup, you had some hydration in your system. Oh, yeah. I want to encourage everyone to start doing that. Yeah. Writing out your daily accomplishments, no matter how small they are, and writing out gratitude for that day. Yep. Because there's a little bit of good in every day. Even every day. I woke up. Some days that may not feel good to you, but honey, I woke up.
I thank God for getting me out of bed every day. Yes. Because it's just one of those things where it's like, it could be worse. Yes. It could really be worse. It's a fresh start because you never know. That day could be better.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So yes, I encourage everyone, write out their daily accomplishments, get a gratitude list. Because I told someone the other day, she's a really close friend of mine. But I did quite a bit that day, and she was like, I feel like I did nothing compared to you. And I was like, wait, listen. I told her the same thing. You brushed your teeth. You took a shower and have a cute outfit on. You know, you are doing the work. And that's what it is. It's my therapist would always say, Courtney, do the things. No matter if you don't, like, do the things. You feel sad? Move your body. Movement can... I'm not the biggest exerciser. I'm not going to front. I'm not going to lie to anybody. But move your body. What? Yeah. Some dancing.
Yeah.
Movement. Like you said, it all goes together. It all goes together.
For sure. For sure.
I feel so good right now. Because it's just removing that weight of, listen, I am a Black woman in America and I struggle with mental illness. And I'm not afraid to say it.
Okay. That needs to be more of a thing.
Oh my goodness.
It needs to be more of a thing. Yeah. Because it's not common.
It's not.
Amongst the Black community in general.
Right.
You know? We're so, man, we feel as though we have to be strong, and that's been put on us.
It's just, that's another thing, it's generational. Yeah. It can be passed down.
Yeah.
So many people don't talk about that.
No.
It can, like I said, the addiction, it's in my genes because it was something my biological parents dealt with.
I had to ask my parents when I started realizing that I, because my parents didn't talk to me about anxiety. Right. They didn't talk to me about depression. So I was stuck, like, where did this come from?
Right. No, like, what did I do?
And so as I started reading up more and talking, talking to people, and I started realizing this could be hereditary. So I said, let me ask my mom and dad and see. And lo and behold.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was
so
like,
common.
oh.
Ask your parents,
I determined in my head, I said, when I have children, I'm going to make sure they know about my anxiety. I'm going to make sure they know about my mental illnesses and things. And whoever their father is, most likely will probably have been through it too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's so common. I want to make sure that they know that it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. Yeah. You got to make them aware. Make them aware so when they do start having, and this is for any new parents out there, make your kids aware. Yeah. Of what they could come up against. You know what I'm saying? Because the enemy has never changed, and he won't be changing anytime soon. If anything, it's just going to get worse. So, at the end of the day, you got to make sure your kids are aware of the battles and things that they're going to come against, so that they can be prepared to fight. So, girl, I think that we have not really touched our wine,
girl, because this is a topic I'm so passionate about because it isn't talked about, you know. And like you said, we speak as Black women. That's how we experience it, right? But anyone, no matter your race, religion, gender,
every walk of life,
you know. So I just want to kind of end by saying this: anxiety is more than worry. Depression is more than sadness. PTSD is more than just living in the past. Bipolar disorder is more than just being happy one minute and sad the other minute. And so on and so forth about other mental illnesses. It is important that you do your research and don't let Hollywood films show you what mental illness looks like. Don't let them show you what mental illness looks like. Because it is so much deeper. Like Lauren said, how it is for her isn't how it is for me. But we both struggle with it.
Right.
So yes, I just encourage y'all to take some time to just think about, how are you? How is your mental health?
Right.
You know?
And always remember that you are not your mental illness.
You're not.
Your name is not your mental illness. You are you.
Yes. Oh, you're going to do great things too. Oh my goodness. Great things. Define what your greatness is. Don't let society tell you what great is. Because I'm probably not going to be president.
Okay.
But I'm sitting here with my best friend. That's great to me.
Okay.
Do something great. Oh my goodness.
Make every day great.
It's okay
to not be okay.
Won't he do it? Yes. But thank y'all for tuning in to yet another episode. If you did not get a chance to watch our last episode, go ahead and click on it. We talk about relationships, friendships, love, and loyalty, and the connection with it. And we can't wait to see y'all in our next video.
As always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you can click that notification bell so you can know when we upload a new video.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in. Bye.